Just recognizing that we're meeting on the traditional lands of the Ghana people, and we pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. That's all right. Right, so 2026. So welcome everyone to the Adelaide Microsoft IT Pro Community User Group / Meetup. Yeah, a couple of milestones. I mean, Shehan's been with us for a year now.
Yeah.
Just taking a quick look, brief history. I interrogated Pete earlier. Got some rough dates of the lineage of the user group. So it was the Adelaide Windows user group, founded by Pete back in 2012 onwards. And then he joined Microsoft as an employee. So he handed off to Adam Fowler around 2016. They merged with the System Center group. So you would have seen Brett Moffat floating around here in the past. They rebranded to the Adelaide IT Pro user group. I think they added community onto the end of that not long afterwards. And in 2019, I joined the leadership group, and Adam later on joined Microsoft. And then 2024, Brett started had some issues with being able to commit his time and being in person as well. So that, funnily, Adam was in between Microsoft jobs at that point, so he came back for a bit. And then, 2025, Shehan came on board, and here we are. So it's, I think, what is that, 13-ish years it's been going. So, not too many name changes, unlike
It's a bit of a pattern as well, people joining Microsoft.
Seems to be the case. Anywho, but for those on the call who haven't met us before, I'm Andrew Young. I am a AI workforce and security capability lead, so a lot of M365, a lot of Copilot at a company called InfoMotion. They specialize mainly in information management, records management, and now Microsoft AI and Cloud. Also Microsoft MVP in security for Intune and M365, and you can find me posting all sorts of things across LinkedIn and wherever else you'll see my handles. And with me I've got...
Yes, and I'm Shehan, so I'm working at Bastion Technology Services at the moment as an architect in unified endpoint and identity. Currently, I'm placed at SA Water as a solutions architect there, working for some projects, including an EUC modernization work project as well. As Andrew mentioned, you can also find me here in LinkedIn, where I post a lot, if you have seen. Also in X most of the time, and also my blog, where I post all the articles and stuff related to Intune, Entra, Defender, and everything in between, called emsroute.com.
Sweet as. And again, thanks to Microsoft for having us. Thanks to Brett for keeping our meetup afloat from the back. And obviously we've got pizzas and drinks and stuff from us every month that we meet up. Now, flipping the agenda around, because we usually do what's new first, but we'll do the topic first just to get that out of the way. So it is all around M365 in the era of AI and all the fantastic changes that are coming from Microsoft in terms of licensing and feature ability and all that. So we'll just progress here, and no surprise, it is a licensing slide. But a lot of the stuff is happening around middle of the year. So from July 1st onwards, we're going to see, a lot of stuff happening in the enterprise space, particularly. So if you look to the left there, it is all the business licenses. So business basic, standard, and premium. I think the biggest thing happening in that space is that they are getting an extra 50 gigabytes of mailbox storage, which is a big call, because they've started off with 50 gigs initially, and a lot of people are hesitant on moving to business SKUs because 50 gigs fills up pretty quickly, apparently, for some people with that sheer volume of email that comes in. So if you had a business premium license, you could have turned on online archival or automatic archiving, and it would kind of expand that archive mailbox so that you had effectively unlimited archival storage up to 1 TB in that Exchange workplace. So now that they're adding an extra 50 gigs means that people are more likely to get a business SKU if they're in the right kind of model, because up to 300 seats, you can get business licensing, but if you have over 300 users, you got to start getting enterprise licenses on top of that. So 50 gigs is great, well, 100 gigs now in total. So that's in line with the enterprise licensing, particularly. And here's one that's sorely overlooked, is Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Plan 1 was not part of Office and M365 E3 before. So that was one of the winning points of going Business Premium, because it had Defender for Office, which is your email security, so anti-spam, anti-phishing, your safe attachments, safe links across your Outlook, your Teams, and SharePoint. So now we're getting that added security coming into the Office and the M365 E3 level. I'm going to throw to you because there's a lot of Intune stuff happening, and here's a friendly image from Leo Bella, the principal product manager of Intune.
Director or someone,
some big name, a big title, but here's a clicker.
Or like the big boss of Intune. So I think this happened in last Ignite in November. So they announced, so they had this Plan 2 and Intune Suite, apart from the standard Plan 1, which is usually coming in with E3 or E5. So that's the default Intune features, which is called Plan 1 right now. But Plan 2 and Intune Suite, which has got Plan 1 and Plan 2 and some other standalone stuff in the Intune Suite. So with the new announcements, now they are including some of the features that came in this Plan 2 and Suite into E3 and E5. So that's a really good opportunity to use Intune in the full strength. Things like remote help, advanced analytics, they were only limited if you had the Plan Intune Suite, or if you buy those features as standalone or add-ons per user basis. And also the things like Cloud PKI, so it just minimizes the on-premises footprint when it comes to PKI infrastructure, as well as endpoint privilege management, which is like they are investing a lot in those, getting that extra layer of security when it comes to approving stuff and getting things installed on a device or something like that. And also enterprise app management. So they started building a catalog of probably 100 applications as a start. I think at the moment they got like 500 plus applications, and they keep on investing and keep on adding the applications. So you don't need to go to a third-party product for application installations, and keep on updating the life cycle of the application. Everything is done by the app management. So they are the features that are coming into those licenses, E3 and E5. So, and also Security Copilot. So Security Copilot was solely an Azure feature where you have to do some stuff in Azure in order to get everything provisioned. Your SCUs, that's...
we've got another slide just purely on Security Copilot.
And billing. So now they are coming into E3 and E5. Is it this one? No.
This was your
slide. So I'll finish off the Intune one, and then I'll jump on to the Security Copilot again. So in an enterprise, what this means to your E3 or E5 license. So you can reconsider, say, if you're in a business premium plan, if you're thinking of adding more value into your enterprise, into your security and stuff like that, this is a good chance for you to reconsider E3 or E5 as the next level. So basically, this will be an uplift if you're coming from a business license. So you get more leverage now with your management to talk about what sort of license, what sort of features that you want to add into your endpoints when it comes to Intune, like managing the endpoints. And also, say if you have things like your third-party application, say if you are using a remote help application, say TeamViewer or something like that, for an example, or if you're using a patch management application management app, tool, something like AMITPC or something like that. So you can start thinking about how Intune can give those in the same E3 going forward. But I think that will be activated starting July this year. But yeah, there are lots of resources in the internet how you can activate, test, and everything with that integration coming into the scene. So as I said, it's better integration, and it's all going through the whole same ecosystem, and honoring zero trust stuff as well.
We're consolidating all your tools, and you're not paying additional because it's all being rolled down into the existing licensing.
So this is the Copilot stuff that I initially earlier mentioned. So some Copilot elements or the number of CUs that's coming into the E3 and E5.
Yeah. Oh,
depending on the number
only
of
E5.
users. E5, sorry,
so,
only E5.
Yeah, from the Ignite announcements, they started rolling out from that week.
Yeah.
But you will receive an email 30 days out before they make this change, and they will do it for you, so you don't have to necessarily stand up anything. I've lost the click. Yeah. So there's a rate of 400 security compute units for every 1,000 paid licenses of E5. Now, the security compute unit, ICU, that is their unit of measure to effectively power this this AI running. So this is for the standalone chat experience as well as the embedded experience across the Entra, Defender, Intune, and Purview admin centers. So if you divide that by the number of seats you have, so if you have 100 licenses, you would get 40 SEUs. You have 10 licenses, that's 4 SEUs. So in the traditional, the legacy, did we call it legacy? No, in the I guess in the former, the former billing method would be you've got it's pay as you go, but there's also a full hour provisioned for that SEU. So even if you don't use the full hour, you still charge for that full hour. Whereas if you're using lists, you're just pulling down from that quota. So if you're only using 2 units, that's it. But if you're down 2 units, they don't make you pay for any additional hours. There is a note around if you do exceed the 400 or whatever your capacity is, they will start throttling the service. And I think from a later date, you can then purchase additional SEUs around, I think it was $6 US per unit per hour.
Yeah, something like that.
So it is a unit an hour effectively, or is it just what you're actually
so the unit, it depends how much processing power. So you could throw 10 units at a certain query or prompt, and it goes and does its thing. In the older billing method, if you're using that for 30 minutes, you still pay for the full hour worth of an SEU, whereas they don't really track your time. If you use that much, I think it just pulls down from the quota. I'll have to double check whether you can't just use the same 4 SEUs for 5 hours and it only pulls down 4. It might. Yeah, we'll get some clarity on that one.
But I think there are lots of agents that are coming in. So we got agents throughout the security suite. So for an example, if you talk about identity and access agents, so you have a conditional access optimization agent where it goes through the conditional access policies and helps you to gives you the best practices of getting the conditional access policies done, or writing a prompt to get the best conditional access policies as a result as well. Same goes to the Intune as well. So Intune has got a couple of agents. Again, you can get a policy created So it knows which settings to look at from the settings catalog for you, rather than you going and maybe selecting a random setting thinking that it would work. Something like that. And also the review agents as well. So the review agent, I think in a high level, it goes through the multiple administrator approval process to identify whether the review process has been done, or you can automate the review process as well. So it does that for you. Compliance agents, do you want to talk about that? Or
It's data security and compliance from Purview. So yeah, similar thing where it goes and reviews your existing policies. It assists you in if there's investigations already. So if you've got ongoing cases where you're discovering certain sensitive information or any documents relating to a specific incident, that's where it comes in handy to help you build out those cases or create new policies based on that incident.
Yeah. The SOC agents would be the same as same like just like that, going through the vulnerabilities and going through the next level of remediating those stuff for you, or maybe writing the KQL queries if you have the prompt, so you don't need to go through you don't need to think about the KQL query creation. So that will be done for you by these agents.
Yeah.
So and also partner agents as well that can be plugged in.
Yeah, well, those would be additional costs depending on which partner it is, but you do get the Security Copilot chat and the embedded fly-out chat in those admin centers. But yeah, all those first-party agents will be included as part of that. And you can then create your own Security Copilot agents as well. So it's a very similar experience to Copilot Studio, where you give it a name, give it a description, give it some instructions, suggested prompts and so on, and then you point it to whichever data sources if it needs any additional ones. So you could be using things like a data lake or another place that you're collecting all your security logs, and then you've got your own bespoke agent that does stuff for you. So I think it's more around assisting your existing security staff as well. And outside of that, because it is more of they're rolling in Intune Plan 2 and Intune Suite, which is more a security side of things. If you are on E3, E5, you probably have some of the items here. So this is more targeted for the business, or particularly business premium level of licensing, where they don't necessarily have all these Plan 2s or all the premium security services. So where Business Premium has, say, Defender for Business, which is that endpoint detection response sensor, with this add-on and included in E5, you would have the Defender for Endpoint Plan 2, which is that same EDR component. I think P2 has a bit more offerings from Microsoft, like access to security experts and advanced hunting capabilities within Defender. So being able to use your KQL and hunt within the Defender portal rather than going into Sentinel, for example. Defender for Office 365 P2. This one gives you the ability to run your own anti-phishing or phishing campaigns. So where you send out those well-tailored emails to your staff and see who clicks a thing. That gets a lot of people. But like an Entra ID P2 in here as well. So this is additional identity governance and protection features that you wouldn't get in E3 or Business Premium. So these are US dollars. So just add on like what 30 to 40% more on the cost. So there's this one, and I guess if you're looking at an E3 and E5, well, E5 has it, but E3 wouldn't necessarily have the Purview offering. So we're talking things like information protection and governance, where Business Premium and E3, you've got sensitivity labels, you have what they call classifiers. So with the E5 or the premium licensing, you get the auto labeling experience. So you can set up policies to actually apply labels for you. If you don't have that, it's a manual affair. So you have to drop down and say this is this is private, this is public, this is confidential, and so on, where if you got the auto labeling, it just does it for you, and that's based on the same sensitive information types you've got already. So if you've got that set up, you can make sure that all your staff are assigning the right level of sensitivity, default labels, and so on. Insider risk management, if you've got people doing things that they shouldn't be doing, you can now track that, and based on that, you can then change the level of their access. So you have adaptive protection, so you can, this ties into the Entra piece as well, so your conditional access policies can then be triggered by suddenly this user is more risky than they normally are, so let's give them a few more factors to authenticate with and maybe lock down their access until they reset their password, for example. So a lot of defense in depth going on there with zero trust as well. And that last one on e-discovery and audit, that gives you additional logging retention for your audit. That's logging all sorts of things that take place within M365 and Dynamics 365 as well. So, files were accessed, files were deleted, records were tampered with. You can get all that information from the audit logs. Any discovery is around creating those cases and discovering information and so on.
The legal side of
legal holding and litigation and scary words we throw out there. So those are the two standalone add-ons you can get to business SKUs, but they've also given you this bundle so you can have both Defender and Purview suites. It's a better price than getting them separate. I mean, US makes it look really nice, but I think it's around 22 Australian. But if you add up the cost of a business premium license and then this, you're getting everything in an E5, but almost at an E3 cost. So I think they've really made it appealing to get, to get on business premium if you're not on business premium and you're on a lower business SKU, or if you're on an enterprise E3, or if you're not, if you're not kind of deciding if you go business premium or E3, I think if you look at this and you get the add-ons, you're going to get a little more value and protection included in that bundle. Any questions? Because I just ranted really quickly there. We did go through that really quickly, but we'll just do a recap. So I think, major changes. So you get your extra 50 gig storage and mailboxes, because people will fill that up somehow. And for some reason, there are people who are averse to using an archive mailbox because it's, where's my stuff gone? You gotta scroll down and there's a separate mailbox. Looks the same, but there's you're missing things.
Online always,
So I guess to stop that from happening is to obviously give you more quota. But again, realize that you've got a bigger footprint now. So if you are backing up your M365 data to a separate location, be it Azure, file shares, Veeam, wherever it may be, just be consider that you've got more data to back up and all that. But Defender for Office 365 P1 is a huge addition to Office and M365 E3. Because either you're using a third-party mail protection service or you're using nothing, which is can sometimes be the case if people don't realize that they're not getting that piece because they were thinking, I've got E3, I'm good. I think that's usually the only one thing I point out is, hey, you don't have email protection, just be wary of that. And then obviously we've got the Intune P2 and the Suite editions.
It's pretty much they're coming into your E3 and E5 respectively, and you can, as I said, reconsider about how you want to manage your endpoints more securely and add more value to your license going forward. And maybe if you have third-party tools, time to reconsider whether you really need them going forward, or can you add the same functionality back into your license and back into your features, and then go from there. The good thing is you can still get a trial of those add-ons and then try within your test tenants or within a silo of users to see how that works. And when the time is right, when they're adding the features into the license, then you can start using it straight away.
Do you know when they're going to add that?
Starting July 1st this year.
So all those things that we're talking about so far, they'll be rolled into those licenses. And at the same time, they're going to increase the cost of those licenses
of course.
by $2-3 each. So depending on which SKU it is, it's still cheaper than these things as they work. Which is I think that was the hardest part was after Microsoft announced this plan 2. There's an Intune suite. It's going to cost this much. People are like, ooh, I'm already on E5, and there's an additional. You get these additional suite. You got Entra, Intune, and Viva suites that aren't part of E5. And I think this is a step away from introducing the E7 SKU, which we joked about. It may as well be an additional license level, but it looks like over time they'll just bring things in. So I think in the past, even some E3 features slowly entered business premium. So things like anti-phish, so safe links and safe attachments weren't a business premium thing. So over time, we will get more things. I think that's just a baseline because secure by default, secure future initiative from Microsoft. They want to make sure that they've got some duty of care for their customers. So you still have to set it up, but here are the tools to protect your information, right?
I can just see it replacing the stuff we get from the MSP at the moment. So
sorry,
I can see it replacing some of the MSP software. Especially the remote access, the remote help. Replace using their software
Well, in the past, Microsoft were partnered with TeamViewer for the remote assistance, and I guess that was an extra license separate to the SKU as well. So I think
they still got the connection in Intune that you can still do, but
but also the native remote help. There's that the what is it, the mobile app management tunneling. There's like your own little VPN to manage or deploy applications as well. So and then obviously the security copilot units. So that at their leisure, starting from November, it's rolling out to tenants that have E5. And I think if you already are using a security copilot, the advice is to not just delete it because there's always that fun transition of you're paying for something, but then something's free. But then, how does the billing behind the scenes work? And we see all of that because now there's two types of. There's the Microsoft Online agreement, and then the Microsoft commercial. So that's why when you go in the billing section in the admin center, where are my subscriptions? They're in the other billing profile that doesn't show by default. So I think it's also a matter of making sure that you know where this is getting tracked. And also that's a monthly thing. So if you don't use the units, you forfeit them, but also get more because you didn't use them this month, right? So make sure you use them if you have them. And it's probably a good thing for MSPs as well because now they can just run Security Copilot, and if the customers are on E5, they can use Security Copilot, so they can provide more value based on stuff being included now. And I mentioned the vendor purview suite, so I mean everything is now pointing at AI and how we're not data ready because it's taking us that long just to get people into SharePoint. Think about how that data looks. And these tools and services within Purview particularly will help you get there. And this is all lining up so that we've got identity, devices, and data protected. Very much so in E3, E5, but also business premium with these new Defender and Purview suites. There's a pretty image. But everything else we missed. Apparently Save Things Lite is coming as well to be the standard. And that is the one where it scans the URL, it goes off the site, makes sure it's safe, and it rewrites the URL. So when you click it, it's like a oz01.safethings something. And it prevents you from getting to the bad site or causing anything from happening. Anything else we didn't cover on that? I think that was pretty much it in terms of the new licensing changes, the value add. Any questions? Any questions online? did kind of skim through that, but I think the major points were there. If there's no further questions, we'll move on to the what's new section, as we normally have that first. More licensing news. Oh, juicy. Yeah, so if you've not heard of Microsoft Places, it is that other app service that lets you organize your office spaces. So you've got rooms, you've got hot desks and seats and so on. This sits in your calendar view, and you can then book out rooms or seats around the office. And I think it's all around providing management, the telemetry around how that space is being used. So as an end user, you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to book a room. That's about the extent of it. But the management team would see the value in having this room or this office space if they're renting it out. So that's what that is for. Team shared space license. Yeah, so something like a room like this. I can't remember what it was called before, but the right things get renamed.
Yeah.
That's what it's called now. I think Teams Enterprise users are now getting advanced town hall and webinar features, so that would be handy if you get those. So I think it's the limit there is 3,000 attendees who are able to interact. So reactions, chat, talk, and all that. Yeah. And then 10K is view only. But of course, you can get add-on licenses to have more people attend. Yeah. I mean, like that's a lot of people to join a Teams meeting.
Yeah.
And if you see how, generally we join a Teams meeting, we've got 5 people, and it's reasonably seamless experience. Yeah. Imagine having 2,000 times that number of people on the call. Sure, so that's what that licensing is meant to take care of.
And the resources from the back end.
They keep scaling up those numbers.
Yeah.
This was announced back in December at some point, I think mid-December. It's public preview. So previously there was a organization or tenant-to-tenant migration, and it was only available to enterprise agreement customers. So this is now going to be for any tenant, so you will be able to do user migrations between tenants, and you get batches of up to 2,000 users at a time, which is in itself a huge amount of data happening in a batch. But because it's all in the Microsoft boundary, it's going to be fast, it's secure, just like the other one was. And if you've ever done a migration with third-party tools, it's a similar kind of process. Here's a source, here's a target.
Yeah.
You got to set up, all the mapping, and then off you go. But that's happening in someone else's kind of environment. Yeah. It might still be Azure in the back end, but it's leaving and it's going back in, and it could be a third-party platform. So this is we're talking one tenant to another tenant. Particularly around the users' mailbox, OneDrive, Teams, chats, and meetings. Which probably users. And it's SharePoint's 25th birthday. Yay! There is an event next month, probably in the early hours for us, and we get to see a recap of what they've done in the last 25 years and what's to come in the next however many years. So it's cool. From a security perspective, there was no Exchange security update for Exchange servers in January. I think Christmas happened, so I'm sure there's going to be a one coming this month. The security baseline package for M365 apps for enterprise came out, version 25.12, so you should be able to push that out through Intune. And this is good. So Microsoft Purview had the data security posture management concept. So it came out initially with the bottom one, the DSPM, and that was just everything, like all data repositories and so on. And then they thought, well, we've got Copilot and AI happening, so we'll bring this other one in purely focusing on Copilot and AI and agents. So we called it DSPM for AI, and now they've gone, just call it DSPM and it covers everything. Probably should just start it there and kept it as that. But it is funny, you go to Microsoft Learn and you see documentation and it's like, here's this product in preview, here's the product in 2 iterations prior. Yes, and due dates so Microsoft Sentinel, it was, I guess, introduced as a new feature inside the Microsoft Defender XDR portal. So that was the former M365 Security admin center. There is a extension, I guess, of the transition.
Yeah.
So it was needed to have done it by mid this year. They've given me an extra 9 months effectively, just to move away your Sentinel management from the Azure portal into the Defender portal. So there's plenty of resources around what you need to do and how it's done, I guess, and when you need to do it by. A sad one, Viva Goals was retired at the end of last year. This was the Viva tool that helped you manage your organizational objectives and key results. So that is gone now. I think they want you to use Planner more. The other piece is Planner inherited Project Online. So bits of Project Online are now part of the Planner premium licensing. So it's a lot going on in that space. You can create goals inside Planner as well, but you just don't get the key objectives and the other bits that tie to it. But I believe the original creators were Ally.io, and I think they're starting to build a new product that also tracks goals and OKRs. So just watch that space. And some fun end of support dates. So if you're still running on-prem servers of Project, SharePoint, 2016, 2019, and if you got any InfoPath SharePoint Designer from 2013, there's a lot of places still using those. That's all going as well. And SQL Server 2016. So mid-July this year, those will leave extended support. Okay, I'm going to take a brief break.
Yeah. So what's new in Entra? So this is new. I've seen this being done using different third-party tools again. How to keep a track of your tenant or tenants, snapshotting, so any point in time, what was the policy that you used for condition access policy or something like that. So you can pretty much extract if you want to and restore those policies if you want to. Understanding the drifts of your policies. For example, say if you have, say, 2 or 3 administrators who are looking at your intra-tenant and security, say, condition access policies, and if someone do a change or something like that, there will be a drift from the original. So you can easily identify those sort of stuff by using those tools back in the day. But now Microsoft has got its own APIs. That's for unified tenant configuration management, still in preview. Just recently announced about this one. So what those APIs are coming in Defender Interaction Online, in June, Purview and Teams right now. So for an example, Teams or say Defender, so each has got like a lot of configuration running, and they are very critical to an organization as well. And a small configuration change can make a data leak or something like that, or maybe bad actors can do very bad things into your organization environment. So this is what I mentioned. So it's per tenant base. You can't manage few tenants in just one go, sort of a thing. But you have the same configuration you can apply to the other tenants as well. So you can manage. You basically can do tenant monitoring. Say there are a number of configurations that you can monitor at the same time. Managing your drifts when it comes to the policies, and also snapshotting of your policies and your tenant configurations as well. So this can be done by using the Graph Explorer, as you usually do for your Microsoft Graph stuff. So these are the use cases that's introduced with the announcement. So as I said, still in preview, so more use cases and more REST resources can happen as far as I can see. And also easily you can use these APIs for your, say, automation or reporting and stuff like that. So that's why we have this sort of stuff, or come up with your own sort of a tool or something like that, and then apply these stuff going forward as the backend. So it will query the graph to give you the information for those sort of actions, monitoring, drifts, and snapshotting sort of stuff. So this has been introduced in Intune, not a big one, I would say, but again, Windows backup for organizations. It's in GA, so general availability right now. So you can backup and restore your Windows settings. There are users, pretty much, they say, I need the same configuration that I had in my previous device. So as long as the device right now is joined as an inter-joined device, not hybrid, but inter-joined, you can restore those settings from the previous device, and then that will be same as usual. How you can see in your iOS right now, so or Android with the restore. So RBAC, you don't need to use the full administrator Intune to do that. So if you have a down level, RBAC permissions given to service administrator, they can use that by using the settings catalog, by using a policy. So it's pretty much making this enabled for the devices or the device group that you want in Intune, and then off you go. That will be applied when the user changed the device. Still in Intune, what's this? Yeah, so this bit of a big one. If you have done application wrapping or applications via Intune, I guess most of the people have done. So Win32 applications. So usually up until now, when you are doing a Win32 application or try to upload an application to install that to the devices by using Intune, you have to write your installation command, uninstallation command, dependencies, your post installation to stop the process and stuff like that. So everything has to be done manually. But now you can use a PowerShell script installer to do that. So what that means is you can use a PowerShell script written with all those commands and then upload it as in one go. So what that means is, so you can basically can save time. So you can reuse the same sort of command set or the PowerShell with a small change maybe and upload it to the next application as well. And also this removes the dependency of doing it in the command line like in previously, as I said, or manually. So the benefits, again, eliminates misconfiguration because you have to write it manually, reusable scripts. So you can set up your workflows and prerequisite checks within the PowerShell script itself, and then getting the application to install in the Intune process. And you can bundle up your dependencies, your post-installation actions in the same script.
I guess you can give yourself some better error message outputs as well.
Yes, and reporting, I think they got some sort of a good level of reporting right now introduced with this one. So this is very new. I think introduced probably a couple of days ago. Still in Intune, so I think you have heard the Edge for Business, Edge browser for business. So now they have it for all those platforms. So basically Edge for Business, SMAM, MDM, iOS, Android, with a lot of governance and security guardrails in place. So the enterprise browser framework always has referenced the NIST, DISA, those sort of best practices, and then have come up with their own settings to manage the browser. So what it does is, this is a combination of many things. So conditional access policies, app protection policies for browser, which can be done in any for any platform right now. Settings in the settings catalog, there are a number of levels that you can set up. So I'll show that in a bit. And also a bit of user experience as well. Users might see this is not the Edge that I used to use, but still Edge. So what sort of things that's enabled in the new Edge, in the Edge for Business, but not in the standard Edge, those sort of things. So they have mentioned like a flow of deployments, or like a flow of getting this rolled out to the users. So level one, say, establish a base level, and then go from there, apply more features like DLP strategy, and what are your users, what are their personas and stuff like that. So these are the levels that they are mentioned, and for every level there are a set of settings that you can use in settings catalog, as well as by default for everything you can use condition access policies, app protection policies in place together to secure the browser. So this is happening in Intune. This is GA at the moment. Yeah. Defender, I saw this one. I thought maybe this would be useful for anyone who's doing the hunting, advanced hunting stuff by using KQL. So I've seen these two tables, which are still in preview. So what this does is, how I came up with this one, because I wrote a blog a couple of days ago on how to secure your browser with the extensions, and what sort of things that you can do for extensions. Not everyone can install extensions in an organization. What happens if someone installs your sleeper extension, something like, they install as legitimate, good, clean extensions, but all of a sudden they wake up and then do all sort of bad things. So how to manage those stuff. So then I came up, then I saw, yes, Defender has got, with the vulnerability management, they got a extension management part as well. And they have recently announced that they have like two tables. So the things that you can check in your Defender, you can query from the hunting tables as well from KQL. And can get information at the same time. So this is pretty much what you can see in the inventories when it comes to the browser extensions. All the extensions installed in your organization, for an example, with their permission risk as well, which is very important when it comes to an extension these days, because all those sort of nasty things are happening with the extensions, as you know, keylogging, recording user activities, or stealing user information and stuff like that. So this is kind of very critical.
Violent monkey.
Yeah, tab monkey as well. And also you can see per device wise. So the same things that you can do in the UI, you can use those hunting tables to get more tab table sort of a view, and for your detections, to create your detection rules as well. This is not that new, but I think the probably introduced in October last year. So Zero Trust Assessment Tool, which is free, that can be downloaded from Learn right now. So this is a very interesting tool. Say again, you can eliminate a third-party tool by using this one, for example. So right now, this spans across the identity and the devices. So it's a small partial module that you have to install and then just basically run by after getting the permissions and stuff like that for the scope. It only does this read only. So it gives you a snapshot of what you have at the moment in your organization when it comes to devices and identity, and where you are at the moment, basically. So this again goes through the best practices of other frameworks. It doesn't say we are using this framework, saying it's like an amalgamation of many frameworks, and they have come up with, Microsoft have come up with their own sort of standards. So I think they got a good number of tests as well. So this is a part of the SFI Secure Feature Initiative project that they're running internally, as well as with pretty much everyone who has got tenants right now globally. So assessment results will give you what tests it carried, and then what's the result and the status of that, basically the status. So if it is failed, for an example, it will tell you what was checked and how to resolve this error as well. So that's really good. So it's directing you to the Learn page. Then you can plan out how to rectify the issue. Again, Intra and Intune will be used to do this one, and some Defender stuff as well, because they're all connected together. So as you can see on the right, top right corner, this is for identity. That's what I'm trying to see. Identity only. They got like 134 tests, which is running when you run the module, and then spit out a PDF. A HTML with all the information in it. And floor is yours.
Yeah, onto the learning stuff. So there are, I guess, curated learning paths across all of the various Microsoft security products. There is a kind of an assessment at the end of it. So it is a Microsoft form quiz. So if you can get I think it's 80%. If you get that or more, you get a certificate of completion. You can be a Ninja Cat as well. Keep bringing this up. There is a cloud native app protection policies ebook out in the wild, so get onto that. Probably should have added in an ebook in here. So a former Microsoft employee by the name Ray Reyes has a Mastering Purview in the Age of AI book out now, available in hard copy and ebook. I'll drop in the links for the show notes, but I'll make sure that's in there next time. I will get a chance to read through that at some point, hopefully. But aside from that, Microsoft Learn, I can't see someone's in the lobby. Checking. I saw something on LinkedIn about some new certs. So our friend Vlad Katriniscu, who's in, I believe, Canada, or somewhere.
Was it?
Canada. Yeah. He posted, hey, there's a couple of new certs coming. So this is around Copilot Studio. So there is a maker and a developer. So very similar to the previous Power Platform maker and developer model. So the exam numbers AB 610, 620, I think at this stage. Apparently some surveys went out late last year around, I guess, shaping what the exam would be like. So there is, I guess, the criteria, topic areas, and they'll have a weighting of how relevant is this kind of to this role, I guess, because it's all role-based certifications now. So looking forward to those coming into beta. I imagine it's soon, because they were hiring, someone was boasting about getting people to help write the questions for these two exams. So hopefully that's soon. Again, you can check out the applied skills and the certifications posters for the latest available assessments out there for your credentials. But this is also on the tail end of these 4 AI Business Solutions exams coming out of beta. So the AB 100 was end of last month? No, start of last month. And then the AB 900, 730, and 731, they came out of beta on, I want to say last Thursday, Friday, but the results for the beta exams came out on Saturday morning. So note that there are 2 new red badges. So this is now the business category of certification, not tech heavy. It's wouldn't even say the sales like exams, because what they've done is they've retired the M365 fundamentals, which was very broad, not really technical deep, and they've introduced this AB 900, which is more technical, and it's managing M365 and agents. So I think, as the fundamentals become more technical, these business certifications will kind of fill that space where it was anyone can come in and start learning about this product or service, and kind of excel in that space there. One thing to note, those bottom 3, I did note that they have expiries. So even the new fundamentals course there will need to be renewed. So not like the older fundamentals where they don't expire, the new ones will expire. So just be wary of that and do your renewals. And just a reminder, we do have other user groups in Adelaide. Tomorrow we've got the Copilot user group, and then in a couple of weeks' time, the M365 I haven't seen Azure post anything yet. Sure, there's something going on. Actually, I think there's a...
Might have to change the names there.
Yeah, so the update is Simon has stepped down running the Azure user group, so it'll just be Sam, Fernando moving forward, as far as we know. Yeah, and the last one there will, well, we'll see what happens. I'll speak to Matt about spotlights happening. But we'll come back to that one in a moment. In terms of what's coming, there is a Purview Data Security Investigations AMA Friday morning at a friendly time of 4:30 a.m. If you're keen. The SharePoint event I mentioned, which again, early the 3rd of March. One to note, in April, there will be a couple of events. So if you're a Microsoft partner, there is an AI tour for partners on the Monday of that week. And on the Wednesday, there is the general public's AI tour happening in Sydney. So yeah, both free events and relevant to the audiences. It's kind of what we get now instead of the Ignite tour. Yeah, it's just be thankful we get anything happening in Australia, let alone Adelaide. And then following that, at the end of May, the Digital Workplace Conference is coming back to Australia. We'll be in Melbourne this time round. They skipped last year, and based on those dates, it will be a Thursday and a Friday, which is interesting because it's usually a Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have more details on that probably next month. The New Zealand one is taking place later this month, so once that's done and dusted, we'll get some information. Likely to be another sweepstake, so chance to win a conference pass or two. We'll see what happens there. And I didn't see this note last June, but apparently Microsoft Build this year will not be held in Seattle. Which is weird. But yeah, the rumors or what's posted online is it's just around the public safety, security. I don't know. It's things aren't looking too right down in that space. But I think they moved away from it was San Fran previously. Yeah, based on the same issues. So it's funny because they've moved Ignite back to San Fran. So either they did the same thing or they moved this in-house on the Redmond campus. But I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Build, and I don't think many people would travel to go to Build. But it is around the business applications side of things. So it lines up to around the release wave 1 time, which is I think April-ish. So it's probably a lot of Copilot Studio stuff going to be talked about at that. And clicker not working.
Sorry?
That's all right. So yeah, we've pushed this out there. Call for speakers. So if anyone is keen on presenting on anything really relating to Microsoft or tech, or maybe even a use case or a scenario that you'd like to showcase within reason and within NDAs and so on, let us know. Fill out the form. Doesn't need to be long. Can be as short as you like, and we can kind of fill some upper slots as well at the same time. But latest QR code, which I believe works. Just double check that. You can also request topics on that form as well. So if you want to hear about anything specific, we can try and hunt someone down to talk about that topic. And just of note, the podcast that Shehan, myself, and Anthony Porter in Perth run, we are back. We'll be recording our first episode for the year, I think Thursday night. So check us out if you haven't. You'll find us on the usual streaming platforms, Spotify, YouTube, etc. I think that's the LinkedIn QR code there. All things Microsoft security. And then, as I mentioned briefly before, Matt Clark runs the SAIT Connect Discord community server. So all of the people in some form of tech, be it you're still studying, you're now working, or you're job seeking, or whatever it may be, within the Greater Adelaide and South Australian region, join the Discord and talk tech. There's all sorts of things going on. Hopefully we can get some virtual kind of meetups happening there as well. And stay tuned for any lunch announcements for the community there. And I think that's it. We did well for time because you need to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks to the crowd for turning up. Yeah, we'll try and get some form of agenda for the year happening, but we will likely see you next month, the first Tuesday. I think it's the 2nd or the 3rd of March.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.